Success, drama, and mixed emotions.
Even with an upcoming B&R announcement.
This week on battlechads.
Hello everybody and welcome to this next episode of Battlechads. I'm Josh and I'm joined with one of my co-hosts, Dan. Hi Dan.
Hello.
And we're also joined with Team Chad Magic, superior member at the moment. Maciej, how you doing, mate?
All right, how are you?
Yeah, we're all good. So it's been a hot minute since I've been on the podcast because I've been off on a course, running around in a field, getting wet and muddy and all that good stuff. So Dan and Sam have been looking after you, and from what I've listened, they've done a really, really good job. I've quite enjoyed the last one with Myra. It was really interesting. Go check that out. But between then and now, we had a little bit of a tournament or a little bit of event, didn't we, Dan?
Big, massive event right on a lot of the team's doorsteps. We had Spotlight Liverpool happen just over the weekend.
We did.
We were all very excited when it got announced because, again, it was right on our doorstep and it was standard and it was like, oh, wow, it's going to be really, really good. And then Vivi got printed and then everyone wasn't as excited for it. But yeah, we all had a good weekend, right?
Yes. Some of us had a better weekend than others, right, Maciej?
Yeah.
So, just before we get into the housekeeping stuff and the husbandry side of the podcast, Maciej, you attended the main event of that. Maciej, how did you do in the main event?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Got to the final.
You did get to the final.
Yeah. Unfortunately lost there, but yeah, still pretty good.
It's just pretty well. Just an average day out for you, right?
No, so
you know,
Maciej,
making top 8,
Maciej, you
finalist.
Exactly. You were top of the standings for the entire tournament in the top 8. You were on the play the whole time, weren't you? In the top 8.
In the top 8, yes. After the whole day on the draw.
So after losing all your dice rolls. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So this is sort of going to be the premise of this podcast. We're going to be talking about Spotlight Liverpool. We're going to talk about the standard format. Other little bits we're going to be talking about as well. Really exciting because this is just before the B&R that's happening. Well, today is Thursday, and next Monday is going to be the B&R. So hopefully this will be out. Obviously, hopefully tomorrow. Before I go away again. But yeah. Before we do all that, I just want to shout out our sponsors, UltraPRO. Fantastic sponsors for the team. Card sleeves, deck boxes, they've all been fantastic. Dan, how have you found working with UltraPRO?
Oh, so good. I sleeved up Mono Red over the weekend. Not going to spoil too much because we're going to talk about it in this episode. Using the UltraPRO Apex line. You can see them all behind me in that little pyramid. Really, really good sleeves. Really cool, intricate sort of designs on the back of them. And you know, it's UltraPRO. It's a household name. I've been very, very excited to be working with UltraPRO and look forward to working with them more in the future.
They were actually commented. I know Mengu, because I watched your finals match, and Mengu actually commented on the sleeves you were using, Maciej, and saying, "Oh, look at them! They got white borders. They're so cool." And you know, if caught Mengu's eye while he watched back-to-back VV mirrors, then I'm sure they're a really good product. One other thing.
Something needs to distract you from Vivi mirrors, right?
Oh, mate.
He's probably tired of them at that point.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Coverage is just sat there. It's like, oh, what game have we got now? Oh, Vivi against Vivi again. Woo!
So, one more thing I want to mention is on the 13th of December, we have a charity event that is happening. It's a modern open deck list event. For War Child, which is a British-based charity that supports children affected by war, which is really high topical at the moment. Obviously, you've got the stuff in Syria happening. You've got the stuff that obviously Gaza's just sort of like ceased fired at the moment. But you've got all those things around the world, even places that we don't really hear of in the news, such as what's happening in Chad and all those places. So this is a really good charity to get involved with. And it's backed by Hasbro too, so we're going to do a modern tournament. It's going to be live streamed. We've got good support from Harlequins in Preston. Shout out to Heather, who sort of runs all the stuff there. Really good shop, really good for singles. So yeah, if you fancy a trip up to Northern England, check that out. We'll post a link for the tickets below. There's going to be a really generous raffle, and it's going to be prizes per win as well, and really a really good top 8 and a chocolate top 8. So top 16 will get to continue to play more Magic, and if you don't do so well in the Swiss, still incentive to play because you can always play for a mini prize, which will be a pack, I think, per win. So that's really exciting, Dan. Really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Link is in the description. Go buy your tickets now, and we'll see you on December 13th.
Yeah, buddy. Cool. So that's all the husbandry, housekeeping stuff done. Dan, can you think of anything else?
Stuff.
Husbandry.
I like
that. That's a I don't think you can call it husbandry stuff anymore, but that's just the old housekeeping sort of thing that we used to say in the military. So I don't know if there's anything else I've missed out.
No, I think we're all good.
So shout out actually to Sam, who's not here right now, because he said, "Oh, don't speak about me. I don't want to take the spotlight away from Maciej. Oh no, please don't mention me." But Sam is at home because there's fireworks happening in Liverpool right now, and that's where he lives. And he's got 4 dogs, and they're all kicking off. However, not to steal Maciej's limelight, but Sam did do pretty well in the spotlight. He got to day 2, got a the fancy Spider-Man. What's it called?
The promo.
The promo, yeah.
Nice shiny foil card.
Yeah. So he did well. So shout out to Sam, and that's Sam's existence talked about.
Basically, cool. What Sam did is he sold a promo, got really, really drunk, and has just been on the bender since Sunday night, and that's why he's not here.
Yeah. He's just not been seen.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He's on a park bench somewhere right now, like with his shoes off. Someone stole his shoes. He's on a park bench in Netherlands somewhere. Like, where am I?
He's wearing tissue boxes on his feet. Bless him. Yeah, we love you, Sam.
We do love you, Sam.
Anyway, main event, right? Maciej, you did. Sorry, there's a firework going off in pretty much in my back garden. Maciej, you did absolutely amazing in the main event. Obviously, crushed it. Only losing 1 match during the Swiss, and then in the top 8, beating your quarterfinal opponent, semi-final opponent, and then unfortunately, losing in the final. But honestly, absolutely massive congratulations for your outstanding, consistent performance throughout day 1, throughout day 2. And it's just like we were all saying he's an absolute animal, just winning all these games back to back to back. And they were mostly Vivi mirrors, which is quite a how do I put it? Quite a hard matchup. And mirror matches aren't exactly the most enjoyable anyway. So just
Vivi mirror is quite enjoyable. Maybe not to watch, but to play it is enjoyable.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't confident in the mirror coming to the weekend, but after a few rounds, I wanted to play more of it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
because we spoke at our local game store at Just Play, sort of like on like an F&M level event, and we played. I beat you, so technically I came first in Spotlight Liverpool, right? And I said to you, you look forward to it because you've been testing a lot of modern. Are you confident in the mirror? And then at that point, you said no. It's like, oh, okay. And it's just
after this point, like on the F&Ms, another local player, Christopher, was beating me all the time in the mirror. We actually met in the Spotlight around 7 or something. So yeah, I wasn't confident because he was beating me all the time.
Did you do the thing, you know, you go to a pool table and you're like, oh no, I'm really bad at pool. I tell you what, let's go again. I'll bet 300 quid this time, and then you just smash them all. Is that what you did? You just con everyone in the mirror.
No, not really. I really wasn't confident in the mirror before the event.
So what I want to do is, before we go into, because this is going to be, we're going to ask you so many questions. We're going to talk into the mirrors. We're going to ask you about your prep. We're going to ask you about any tips, tricks you learned, all that sort of stuff. Any key sort of things. I do want to say one thing is even though the Vivi mirrors seemed quite boring to watch, I do appreciate that they're quite intensive. In skill-intensive games of Magic, like I'm not going to take that away. Like it's a, giants of a deck pushing against each other. Sure, they're the best decks in the format, but if you're on a level playing field, it's really quite skill-intensive from what I've gathered. But before we want to talk about all that, I just want to mention the team's general accomplishments, because the team did very well over the weekend. We had just off the top of my head, we had 4.
Most of the team.
Most of the team. Well, most of the team did well, but the team generically did well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we had
yeah, yeah.
4 convert to day 2. So we had how many main events? 6 in main event, was it?
7.
7 in main event. So 4 of them. So we had an over 50% conversion rate into the day 2. All those who converted into day 2. Promo to shout out to Sam, George, Duffy, and obviously yourself, Maciej. But we also had really good, strong support from yourself, Dan. You were there for the team. Obviously, you didn't do well in the main event, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But you were there for the team, which is what I love to see. There was a picture posted by Play Magic Twitter that had all of us gathering round watching Maciej. It warmed my heart at least. And shout out to Team Chad Magic captain Jack Goldsworthy, who was there supporting the team and helped with the prep beforehand. Myself and Lucas, we got to the quarterfinals in the Legacy Cup. So that was a good achievement there. And then we had it was just a great weekend for the team, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fun. And like
Christian
Magic
also was
aside, we all had fun. Yeah, Christian played in the main event. Unfortunately, it was myself, Christian, and Stefanos who didn't do as hot as everyone else on the team. Where we stumbled. Me personally, I got to 3-4 and then had to drop because I couldn't convert to day 2. I think Christian was around the same score. I'm unsure on what Stefanos' score was. But
He fell to the draw bracket at some point.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did, and he played 2 control decks back to back, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not great. It wasn't a great matchup for his deck.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stefanos had an unfortunate weekend with myself and Christian at the same time. But performances aside, you know, it's safe to say that we all had a pretty fun weekend. And like I said, like just watching our boy Maciej just go all the way to the top, and you know, winning every single game on day 1.
People were talking about it when else because I played the modern on Sunday. I had drama.
Yeah.
I had drama in the modern. We'll talk about it later. The drama.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But Stefanos did do well in that. He went 5-2 in the modern event on the Sunday and did really well. Got a lot of prizes for it. So well done to Stefanos. Really great because it was home city, wasn't it? It was the hometown, and it was like we always said, wouldn't it be great if like someone from the hometown actually took down Spotlight, and Maciej was the flying the flag. I know he had the Polish flag on his thing, but really it was the Liver Bird, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Like flying the colours of the Liver Bird all the way to the final. So it would have been absolutely. I mean, it was great anyway, but it would have been real special if But it was really special that locals did so well because usually you get all the Italians and the Norwegians coming over, and they usually steal everything because they're always better at Magic than us. But it was great for the hometown to actually give a fight back. So well done on that. Cool. So Maciej, main event. Please tell me, you did very well on the main event, as we said about 15 times already. Happy with your deck choice, obviously. Were you thinking?
Yeah.
No,
I was always set on VV, to be fair. Like I played the deck for a long time at this point. Like I started playing the deck before the rotation, so I was on the deck for a while.
Because you were playing like a prowess version, wasn't you, before even VV?
Yeah, so I started with Cauldron before rotation. Then after rotation, I switched to prowess for my RCQ and stuff, and played that for a couple of weeks. But then it became clear that is not the best deck in the format. It is Cauldron. So switched back to that.
So the main difference is that Cauldron, you have the whole combo where you put a VV underneath it, and then all your creatures has the activated ability VV. Then you can draw loads of cards with the Weather Knight stories and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the prowess is a lot more like low to the ground, aggro. Use VV to.
It wasn't really an aggro. It was a mid-range deck,
right?
But it was focused. It was very fair.
Right. Okay.
Like VV, like Cauldron is not fair. That deck was fair.
Because Dan, you sort of went the opposite way, didn't you? Because you decided that I didn't want to play the best deck. I wanted to beat the best deck, which is sort of like in this standard format. It was sort of the way you look at it. You either play the best deck or you try to beat the best deck, and then the problem with that is that the best deck will beat all the other decks, but then the deck that you're trying to beat, the other decks will beat you, kind of thing. So it was like a horrible rock paper scissors decision.
I think that the actual problem was that if you wanted to play the deck to beat the best deck, you were still losing to the best deck.
Yeah,
like Mono Red still had a bad win rate.
Yeah.
There was no bad matchup.
Yeah, literally sort of words right out of my mouth. The problem that we found with the Vivi matchup is that, like Maciej just said, it had no bad matchups at all. Just taking into account the data from Baltimore and Liverpool, I don't think there was a single matchup that was below 50%. There might have been Reanimator in Liverpool, but I'm unsure on that. But just a deck that has literally no bad matchups. There's no way that you can, you know, it's possible to beat it because there's some matchups which is literally 50-50. And then we identified that Mono Red is the closest thing to being able to be a 50-50 matchup. So in hindsight, I should have just played the best deck and enjoyed my check on the top tables, but I had to stay true to my basic mountains and jam some higher closer for the weekend. But I had fun. That's all that matters.
I think the reason people went on Mono Red because the Mono Red deck punishes card draw. Is that right? With the Razorkin Needlehead or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So
that's right,
the theory was we attack the card draw engine, which is essentially the combo, but then the red is arguably the best sort of removal suite in standard at the moment, and VV gets to play those red removal spells and also the bounce spell. What's it called?
Floodmaw.
Yeah. So you could just bounce a key thing, kind of like Brazen Borrower. I love Brazen Borrower. Shout out to Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower in Legacy, where you bounce the key thing, untap, and then kill them. It's sort of the same sort of theory with that, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, exactly that. The problem with the Mono Red deck is that it plays these bad cards because it has legs against the Vivi matchup, for example. So Razorkin Needlehead, like you said, Josh, it attacks the card draw engine of, FOMO, Prof, Winter Night Stories, but at the same time, it does just die to Torture Tower, or you can just get time walked where it just gets bounced back to your hand and you're tapped out on turn 2. But it was sort of hard to find a better 2-drop that was good into Vivi and then also playable against the rest of the format. I think that the closest one we came to was like Magebane Lizard, and because it didn't die to Torture Tower, but it never felt great playing it and then it getting into the flood mode and they just take one and go off and win the next turn anyway. But yeah, it was definitely hard to configure the correct list, right?
Yeah. I think it's just a testament to how broken standards at the moment. But obviously, we're not going to do this isn't like a deck tep episode where like tips and tricks how to play VV, because we're quite aware that the deck's going to be going in a couple of days. However, there's still a lot of things to learn from it. Mainly, so let's think before the event then. So Maciej, what was sort of your prep then? Because I know there was a lot of meetings and stuff with the team. You have quite a solid play group in the Liverpool area, and Just Play. Shout out to Just Play, good gaming store in Liverpool. So just talk us through like your prep for the actual tournament and any sort of things you discovered on that journey that would helped you in this event, whether it be sideboard tips, as in like what you discovered in sideboarding or how you discovered the play pattern. Because I've made some notes that I noticed what a Pinnacle plays, particularly in the mirror, and I'm just seeing if you mentioned them before I sort of like talk of them to be relevant. So yeah, just talk about your prep.
Yeah, so prep wise, I think it was quite convenient to prep for this event because you really had to prep for only 2 decks. Like you didn't have to test 10 different matchups like in Modern or whatever. You had 2 decks to worry about. Technically, it's 1 deck, but like sure, Mono Red had some percentages, right? So you have to worry about 2 decks. So I've played against Mono Red a lot of matches, especially against Sam.
Yeah, Sam was on Mono Red.
Yeah. So I felt very confident in the matchup coming into the event. I haven't played as much Vivi mirrors because there wasn't anyone else on the team on the deck. But like there were some local players and obviously online you were running into the deck constantly, so that was the perf for the mirror, and maybe that's why I didn't feel as confident, because I didn't have as many reps as against mono red, right? So yeah, but overall the prep, because of how solved the format was quite easy in this this way.
Yeah.
Yes, sideboard wise, actually, that I was going through a lot of different ways to sideboard, especially against mono red and in the mirror. So I started out the mono matchup with just trimming the combo and cutting all Makos, for example.
Yeah.
And bringing in all the removal, extra reeler and stuff. That felt okay, but it wasn't amazing. At the end, I've started trimming just all the cauldrons, leaving some VVs in, and leaving Makos in to sometimes just be the aggro deck. Like in the semifinal, for example, against mono red, I opened game 1 with 3 Makos, so that is as aggressive as the deck can get, right? And you can win against mono red like this. You don't have to like fall behind and try to block them and stuff. You can be the aggressor. So that was the mono red prep, and in the mirror, it was always like, how many VVs do you trim? Is Spell Pierce good, or is it not? Do you trim cauldrons or do you keep 4 of them in? So it was those questions, because like obviously you want cauldron to stop their combo, but you know they will be trimming VVs. So do you trim it? I ended up trimming 1 usually, and like 2 VVs and stuff. But post-board games were always about profits anyways.
Yeah. It felt like
you can still obviously lose to the combo.
Yeah, definitely. It felt like a lot of the games that I've seen, well, that we've played, and like other games that I've played against Vivi, it has come down to sort of like fear of missing out and Prof's eidetic memory as well, just getting loads of insane value and making your creature massive and then attacking twice and putting twice as many counters on your fear of missing out. So it came down a lot to that. The sort of combo side of it was just a bit. I'm not saying that it's not a good combo. It just felt a bit win more in a way, where it's like, okay, I'm going to make loads of mana. I'm going to cast a Riddler. I'm going to cast a Winter Night Stories. I'm going to flashback more Winter Night Stories.
I wouldn't say it's a win more, but once you combo, you definitely win. Like, there is no way you lose from this point.
Yeah.
And with Profts and like FOMO and Scholar, you can still fall behind with like a timely Fladmo and stuff. Yeah. Actually, another thing prep wise with Vivi, there was those Jewels of the Mind lists popping up before the Spotlight. I started testing the Jewel list, but I thought I didn't have enough time to actually properly test it, so I stuck with the old version there.
And that's the one. Is that the creature turned into a land?
No, that's a 2-mana 0/3 that has with vigilance.
Yeah.
And when you commit crimes, you draw this card and stuff. It has power equal to cards you draw.
Is that the Nathan Stoyer card?
Yes.
Yeah, the World Championship card. Yeah. Just before we move on, when we were watching your top 8 semi-final match against Mono Red, when I was a bit behind because I couldn't see what you were doing, what you were playing against, so on and so forth. But then on the TV, it was like a 2-minute delay, and I seen you go like turn 1 Mako, untap Mako. I was like, oh my god, he's doing it. And there's a Razorkin Needlehead on the board. I'm like, is this not like a bit of an issue? You just untap Wednesday Night Stories, take 3. He's like, oh my god, he's doing it.
Yeah, I honestly thought I was gonna lose. I thought I was gonna lose.
It was a close game, that right?
Because the thing is, after I went triple Mako, I missed my third land drop, so I couldn't go Winter Night Stories that turn. So, and I had decision in the upkeep to just upgrade the Needlehead. But then if I draw the land, I just go into my stories, right? And I kind of lose from this point. So I decided to risk it, take the damage, and see from there. But I did miss land drop, and he ended up having another needlehead.
Yeah.
After that, but yeah, I think I survived one life in the end.
Yeah, it was
after
like
the second
single
stories.
digits.
Yeah,
Very, very
and
close.
and my lethal was exactly to the one life as well.
Exactly lethal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because did you exile something from his graveyard with Cauldron? I want to say.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
had 3 Makos attacking. He had 2 blockers. All my Makos were 5 power, and he was at 7 life. So I played the VV before combat, played the Cauldron to deal 1 point of damage. And then the combat trick Cauldron was the remaining point.
Yeah. No, it was very, very sick, and I've seen it. I was just like, "Wow, this deck is sick!" And I was just, as an aggro player, I was so proud of seeing you. You know, not worried
Mono red
about the combo.
sharks.
Just exactly. Mono red shark pirate deck. Yeah.
I guess it's
no, it was so sick.
It's identifying when you're the control deck and when you're the aggro deck, right? So you have that. You can have that like, oh, I've got a control hand, or the game's progressed in a way where I need to control the board now, or you just did what you did and get, you know what,
I mean, it's the power of the deck, right?
Yeah.
You can play any game. You can be the control deck. You can be the combo deck. You can be the aggro deck. So
yeah.
I did notice as well, because you said before, is spell pierce good, and I did notice that a lot of heuristics of that game, or the mirrors that I note, that the games that I saw, was like they would tap out and they'd leave like 1 mana open.
Yeah.
So like spell pierce, because obviously you think, well, VV makes loads of mana. How can spell pierce be good? But if VV is making loads of mana, it's like
VV doesn't make mana on your opponent's turn, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So spell pierce can be good, but it's also very awkward because in the end the deck is mostly creature deck.
Yeah.
But the most important spells usually are non-creatures, right? Like your profts, your Fladmos, your stories.
It did seem like whoever landed a prof first was winning.
Yeah, profts and Fladmo were usually the best cards in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all.
Arguably 2 of the best cards in the format, right?
Sorry.
Arguably 2 of the best cards in the format as well, right?
For sure. For sure.
So when you like, so obviously there's this whole thing with standard the way it was, you know, that it's a 1 deck it is just a 1 deck format, unfortunately. It's not in the best position. So what, I guess, because you really are quite accomplished within other formats now. So you've been doing really well with Modern recently. We're picking up Goryo's Vengeance. You secured an invite to the next RC with Modern. You've been smashing it with that deck. But what made you think, when you're at Spotlight, I'm going to do main event and not pick another format? Because the reason I didn't play main event is because I was like, I am not playing that standard format. I'm not buying VVs. I'm not buying Cauldrons. I'm just not engaging with that format. I'm just going to play Legacy and Modern, and that's it.
I already bought VVs at the start of the of the format, right? So I had the deck. So, and I was playing the format. I did enjoy the mirror, so it wasn't a choice if I wanted to play the main event or not. Like I had to play it.
Did you have a backup plan? So it's like, if the main event didn't go well, were you going to play it?
I try not to think about it, honestly.
But that's part of your prep process then. So like, I am all in on this. This is my weekend. I am all in on this, and it obviously paid off in that respect.
That's a pretty good mindset to have, actually, because like going into it, I was like, oh, I'll play standard, and if all else fails, then I'll play one of the qualifiers on Sunday, and I was already sort of setting myself up to lose in a way. It's like, oh well, if I don't do too well, then you know I can always do something else. Whereas just going into it, tunnel vision, it's like, no, I'm gonna do this all weekend. I like that.
Well,
I could learn a lot from you, Maciej.
I took. We actually spoke about this on a podcast. Remember, about tips and tricks on the on prep for a tournament, and I actually took my own advice for once. So I actually brought only 2 decks. So I brought Legacy and Modern, and I didn't bring any extra cards to them. I was like, right, this is it. Here's my lists. Don't think about it. And it was actually quite liberating, because it's not that night before. Oh, do we change decks last minute, or do we change this card last minute? It was just like, nah, it's locked. I don't have to think about it, and it actually helped me quite a bit. I'll talk about my
It's quite
modern.
nice, honestly.
It is nice.
I submitted a deck on like Tuesday and didn't think about it anymore.
Yeah, I did the same. I was stressing over like one card in the sideboard, and I was like, should I play this? Should I play that? Should I respect this? So on and so forth. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to submit my deck list and hope for the best. And if it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine. And luckily, it didn't come up. So
yeah, so good advice, really.
great advice.
So,
I will say though, I had a stinker. Right, we again, like you said, we had an entire podcast episode on preparation for an event. So the night before the event, I've sleeved up my deck. I've made sure that everything's all in my bag. I'm like, food. So I'll go to Tesco at like 10 o'clock at night, and I get a meal deal. And I'm driving to the event the next day with Sam, George, and one of my friends, Connor, and get my magic stuff out of my bag, and then we're about a 5-10 minute walk away from the car at this point towards the event centre. I'm like, oh my god, all of my food is in the back of my car, and it's raining, and I want to get sat down in the event centre, and as I was stinker, it gets to like 12 o'clock. At this point, I'm starving. It's like, boy, I sure wish I had my food that I bought last night. And it was just, it was a rough day. So I had to go back to Tesco, back to the same supermarket in Liverpool, and buy some more food, and I was fine at that point.
wait, you tell me you didn't spend 10 quid on 5 chicken tenders at the event?
Mate, it was £7 for a sandwich meal deal. And the crisp packets were like tiny. There was nothing in them anyway.
I think I spent about 30. I think I spent about 30 quid on chicken tenders, which sounds like a lot, but you didn't get a lot. Because I didn't know.
They looked nice, to be fair.
They were nice, but I just don't. I don't really. I tend not to eat in a Magic tournament personally. But I usually take like a protein shake or something, and I just didn't prepare.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I had a stinker. Big stinker.
So let's just talk about so you played 18 rounds. Well, you played 17 rounds because you ID'd, and you were the first one to make top 8. So you got to the point in the tournament where your games just didn't matter. Like you were just It
was after round 13 that I was locked already, but I couldn't ID at that point because I was getting paired down every round.
Yeah, so you couldn't ID. So it was not because you couldn't ID. It's because your opponents couldn't ID, right?
Actually, in the last round, it ended up being the same. Like technically, we couldn't ID. We ID'd, but my opponent ID'd to 9th. So yeah, technically couldn't ID that either.
I've been there.
Yeah, but I think that was because the second seed, instead of IDing, conceded on his table. I think that was why that happened.
Right.
Okay.
That's annoying.
But yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Yeah. But yeah, you were the first one to get locked. Was it Simon Nielsen who came up to you and said, "Congratulations! After round 13, you are the first one locked into top 8." How did that feel?
Yeah, I mean, it felt great after that round as well. That was my first feature match as well.
And you're in the Pro Tour now. So your Pro Tour, it's basically said, well done, here's your invite to the Pro Tour, essentially, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
I mean, technically I wasn't locked, but yeah.
But yeah, all right.
Kind of, yeah.
You're in every top 8 in this tournament got to the Pro Tour. Your prize, how did you split the prize? You split the prizes, didn't you?
Yes, we split between all semi-finalists, like the remaining prize pool.
Cool, $5,000 each, was it? $6,000 each?
Yeah, five each.
That's all right, isn't it?
All in a day's work.
Did you get paid it then, or was it you still waiting for it?
The day after.
The day after. Oh.
Yeah.
Tax though, not? Do you have to declare that tax? I don't even know.
No, not in the UK, I don't think.
Nice. So I just want to talk about any memorable sort of matches you had, because I was playing Legacy at the time, and after the tournament I came over and I asked how everyone's doing. Sam was 5-0, George was 5-0, you were 5-6-0. Like everyone was like doing super well. I was like, what is happening? This is so good. Like, oh my god. So have you got any like memorable rounds? Because I'm not going to ask you to do a breakdown of every match you play, because
First one maybe round 3. At this point, me, George, and Sam were 3-0s, I think. And round 3, I got paired into George.
Oh, you beat George. That was his first loss. Was to you.
Yes. It was round 3.
And he was on Reanimator. Deck.
Yes, I played that matchup maybe 5 times before.
Yeah.
So it was fun to play it. And it was very close games actually. Game 2, he surprised me with a hardcast bringer of the last gift. So I died to that.
What does that do?
That's the living end creature. But you usually reanimate it with Spider-Man, right? And he hardcasted it for 8 mana.
It's just hardcast.
Pretty sick.
Yeah. And then game 3, he got screwed. He missed his third lander for like 3 turns or something. So
yeah,
it wasn't the best game. But yeah. What else was it? My first mono red opponent? No, second mono red opponent. I remember exactly. I 2-0'd him, and I drew all my torches both games. I drew 3 torches game 1, 4 torches game 2.
Brilliant.
I remember him. I think he was cursing in French.
That poor mono red player.
That is fair, honestly. That is fair, honestly. Then coming to the end of day 1, around 7 or something, got paired into Christopher from Just Play.
Yeah.
Which I kept losing to him on the FNMs in the mirror.
He did well as well. Like I noticed he was on top
tables
well. When I was noticing.
He was on the top tables for a long while. He was 8-1 day 1 as well. But I think day 2 he didn't do great. Up 10-5, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, that was
didn't do
I think,
great at 10-5. Still good.
I mean, it didn't do great day 2.
Yeah.
I meant.
Yeah.
But that was, apart from the match I lost on day 1, that was probably the hardest match day 1.
Yeah, that's the one I actually watched. That one, that was intense.
Against Christopher, did you?
Oh no, I didn't see that one. It was the other one you did.
The one I lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably one of my worst draws that I had over the whole
Yeah, you drew
weekend.
really bad.
I flooded game 2 and then
game 3 he had a profts. He resolved the profts, which was like one of the biggest things, isn't it, in the mirror that I noticed.
Yeah. I remember one game I got basically gifted a win in the mirror. My opponent missed a land drop on turn 3, but he had a land in hand. He told me after the game. He said go, he just didn't play the land.
He just forgot.
Yeah, he forgot to play the land and then lost from there. It was quite
that player's been thinking about that all. Probably still thinking
about
it now.
Yeah, probably.
He's probably sat there watching this episode crying now.
To be fair, he might have top 8'd as well after that anyways. Might have, not sure if it was this guy or another person, but yeah.
So yeah, go on, keep going.
Yeah. Then what? The first feature match I remember that was against Demir, which was at a point which I was finally not playing the mirror after 7 mirrors in a row. Was against Demir. Lost game 1. To be fair, on day 2 I lost almost every game 1 that I had.
It's okay. It's why there's 3 games.
Yeah, lost game 1. Then game 2 got the combo off in time, but game 3 was really close. Like he had Kaito out that I couldn't kill for like 4 turns at least.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but managed to come back from there.
Wow, having Kaito out 4 turns and still winning.
Yeah. So he kept, because he couldn't draw cards with him. He had to stun my Mako. Then he had to plus to stun another creature that was coming down like next turn and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just kept flooding the board until he couldn't couldn't stand them, and in the end, I think I killed it, not even attacking, but with a double block while the character was 6/7 or something.
Right.
And then came back from there. Yeah.
The so I would like to actually hear about like your top 8 breakdown, because you got all the way to the finals and the top 8. I presume you had some really good games. But before I do want you to talk about that. What was the main difference between day 1 and day 2, which people might not be aware of, in terms of deck awareness? Should I say
Deck awareness? What do you mean?
So day one, it was closed deck list, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
And day 2 was open. Do you think that had any did you notice a difference in how you played and how your opponents played compared to day 1 and day 2? Did it have much of an impact being open deck?
It was actually quite funny because like out of those 7 or whatever rounds I played on day 2, 3 of them my opponents were on the exact 60 as I was.
Right.
Like 1 land off. So it was like 10 seconds looking at the deck list, basically.
Yeah.
Because we were basically playing the same deck, right?
Yeah.
Like without any change. But it's always I always prefer open deck lists. Like you can you know what you have to play around and stuff. Like for example, the match that I lost on day 1, my VV opponent had a Spell Pierce main deck, which is unusual.
Yes. So you need to play around
stuff
that.
like this, right? Yeah. Like
Well,
I didn't know because it was close at this point, right?
Yeah.
When I played him, or like my opponent, I knew my blue-black opponent had multiple strategic betrayals main deck.
Yeah.
For example, that's one of the best cards in the matchup. For example, right? And it also helps with the sideboard a lot.
Yeah. Because you sort of like know what to bring in to combat the sideboard tricks. I like that. I'm the same as you. I much prefer open deck lists because if you know them, right? If you misplay and you don't play around something that you know that they've got, rather than just do they have the spell pace and you lose to that spell pace, then there's it's a bit more onus on you. It's like, oh come on, you should have played around that. So I prefer open deck lists. It's great.
I don't. I hate open deck lists. Yeah, I think it defeats.
If you play like one of Brazen Borrow in every single deck, whether it's legal or not, that's why.
I just think open deck lists defeat the point of Magic. But that's my opinion.
Why?
Why
though?
I don't know. Like you play. I don't know. I just like maybe because I've in the past I've played a lot of like graveyard strategies and stuff, and I like to keep them on the toes. And
that's great for open deck lists, right? Like you know what graveyard hate they have.
Sure, but I would just know what to play around anyway because I don't know. Like I like my spicy little deck like stuff, and it sort of ruins it for me. I don't know.
Kitchen top, kitchen top closed deck list, yeah.
I've just never liked it. Maybe I'll change my mind after playing the charity event, which is on the 13th of December in Preston.
Sure is.
But I've only ever played one open deck list, and that was an RC, and I don't know. Like I don't know if it affected too much. I guess what it does do though is I know this is not an episode about open and closed deck lists, but I guess what it does do is it helps you mulligan to have a game. So for example, I was in Apex last year playing, and I was on Demir Oculus, and I had a hand of like 2 fatal pushes, land, frog. I was like, oh, this hand is great. And then like he played turn 1 Urza's
Temple.
Yeah, it was yeah. And I'm like, my hand has gone from like a really decent hand in an open field to being like basically a free card hand. I had like 2 lands and a frog. That was my hand because like fatal push is like no text. So I guess
happens a lot with those interactive decks, right?
Yeah, I guess
even with stuff like Gorios, you're keeping hand with Solitude Ephemerate, and then they play Urza's Tower.
Yeah, you're
like
great. So yeah, that's by the by. But I don't really like them. Maybe I'll change my mind, but at the moment I don't like them. So talk about your top 8 then. So what anything interesting happened in your top 8? Was it a very straightforward top 8? Was there any drama? Was there any how did you feel going into the top 8? We still, because obviously your confidence would be quite high, I should imagine.
It wasn't before quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I was very confident after that, but like when it was quite a long way before we started the top 8.
Yeah.
And obviously I had a round break at this point because I did round 15, so I was not as confident in the quarterfinals, and then I lost game 1 as well. So
And that was against Red, was it?
no, that was against Cauldron.
Cauldron.
Yeah. Semis were against Red. I was very confident coming into that match. Like, if I was on the draw, I would be probably less confident. But I was on the play.
You're on the play.
I saw my opener, and I was very confident at this point. And I knew I was even more favored post board.
Because you were on the
Like,
play throughout, right? You were top of the standings,
yeah,
going in the top 8.
yes. And then the final, I got overconfident. Especially game 2, I think I misplayed at one point, which probably cost me the game. Like throughout the whole weekend, I was very disciplined with my Fladmos. But there was a turn.
Yeah, you were actually. I noticed that.
There was a turn where I went for it was a long game because we were playing Drogo for a while.
Yeah.
When I went Scholar, I had 2 Cauldrons in hand, and I drove Vivi with the Scholar. So I thought that I'm safe to go off here, right? I have 2 VVs and sorry, two Cauldrons and a Fladmo backup. So I go for it, discard VV, play first Cauldron, get annulled, play second Cauldron, gets annulled.
I saw that, yeah, 2 annulls in the row.
Yeah, and then so I was like, okay, sure, I still have the Fladmo, but then end of turn, he empties his hand. He has 2 Fladmos as well in his hand, so he Fladmos my Riddler, Fladmos my FOMO.
Yeah.
So now, and he has 2 Riddlers on the board, so in his draw step, he will draw 3 cards.
Yeah.
So I wanted to prevent that, and I Fladmod the Riddler.
Yes.
So he only draws 2, right? But he ended up, he went for the Riddler, and he ended up drawing his own Cauldron, and I didn't have a Fladmo at this point.
So if you would have kept that, let him play his Cauldron.
I think I should have just kept the Fladmo in my hand and not be greedy with it. And maybe that was what lost the game in the end, because the game 3 was a non-game.
Oh, he overrun you in game 3.
Yeah, I was on a mulligan, which my opening 7 was not great, but it might have been a keep. I watched the game back, and I know that
because there was
the casters were considering keeping that hand.
Yeah,
my hand was two islands.
Yeah,
Soulstone Sanctuary, Profts, 2 Spell Pierces, and I don't know, something else. But like, I thought I have no red mana. Spell Pierces is nice, but 2 Spell Pierces is a bit much.
Yeah, I think that's a mulligan. Like you're not winning the game with that hand, are you? Like,
So I mulligan this, and my 6 wasn't great either. So
because there was a moment when you needed a land and you discarded a land, right? And that the casters run about that moment.
Yeah, I thought I had to discard. I'm not sure what else was the choice at this point.
I can't remember, but they run about the land, and I think the land was it was sort of pinnacle toward the end, wasn't it? So did you think going into that final that you got this tournament, like this is yours?
I thought about it, but I tried not to.
Yeah.
I tried not to get ahead of myself, right?
Yeah.
But after game 1, I felt. I think I felt too confident.
Because you were just fighting over the trophy at that point, weren't you? That was the.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's insane run though. Insane run.
No,
is there anything that you would have? So obviously, in hindsight, you did the as best as it could go. There's only like one other place it could have got better, which was like winning the whole thing. Would you've done any changes into the lead up, or would you have done something differently in deck building, or would you have prepared differently in any ways?
I mean, obviously, I wish I had more time to test the duelist, right? I'm still not sure if it's better or not, because like
Yeah.
I think most of the lists in the top 8 were still not on the duelist,
Yeah.
but duelist ended up winning. So I'm not sure.
Because his build was different to yours. Cause he
It was very
playing,
different.
Yeah, he was playing Storm Chaser's talent. You weren't.
He was playing Opts as well.
Opts, yeah.
He wasn't playing Makos at all, which made my Torches game 1 very bad.
Yeah.
To me, it seemed like the duelist sort of mind it was definitely an interesting one because it was sort of like a mini proft on its own. So if you have like a duelist and another creature with a proft out, you could draw all your cards by committing crimes with the duelist and just drawing naturally.
What I like,
making so that the duelist is big and then making your other creature big with a proft.
what I like the most about duelist, honestly, is especially post board. It's a turn to play that cannot be annulled and cannot be spell pierced.
Yeah.
And all of your turn to plays when you're not playing it can be annulled because you're playing FOMO, Cauldron Profits, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I like the most about duelist in the mirror. I'm not sure about it.
FOMO can get annulled as well,
like...
can't it? Can FOMO get annulled?
Yeah.
Is it an enchantment creature?
Yeah. Yes, it can, yeah.
Like his list was very, very interesting. Like Joshua mentioned, the Storm Chaser's talent and the Ops, which sort of help a bit more into the duelist sort of mind, I suppose, with the Ops.
I thought the most interesting list, the most interesting thing as well was he was only on 3 Fladmos, which I found to be one of the most important cards in the mirror.
Yeah.
But he drew them, so.
But if you got so you think about it like this, right? You've got Opts in your deck.
Yeah.
Your deck's more consistent. The Storm Chaser talent was interesting because that's card advantage and it's a late game engine too. So I'm not sure how well his list would have been compared to the rest of the meta, but I did like his list in the mirrors better. I think he had more consistency. Plus Opt, if you've got like a Riddler out and you draw an Opt, like scry 1, draw 2.
Oh yeah,
sick,
I didn't even think about that.
I mean? Like, it was interesting, but he took it down. You did really well. Any other changes you would have made, like in terms of your preparation, or even hindsight, what you would have done? I know you alluded to.
I don't think so, honestly.
No.
I think that was the only play that I regretted. Like I don't think that there was any other thing, honestly, that would have changed.
Is there anything you learned from this tournament? Because obviously you've been part of Team Chad Manager now for a couple of months now. Because I've sort of seen you round. I sort of first noticed you when I went to Just Player. You were on I think Sultai Oculus when I first saw you or something.
Yeah, I was borrowing from Jack, I think, at this point. I didn't hear more than the.
Because you're fairly new into Magic, right? Am I saying that? Or?
I mean, I played Magic like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I had a 8.5 years break or so. So
it's enough to be out.
Yeah, I basically stopped playing before first Modern Horizons.
Right.
And then came back around Duskmourn.
So yeah. You've achieved quite a lot because you went from this FNM, showing up to FNM person to joining the team, and then you did really well with Glorious Vengeance. You took down a couple of tournaments of that. You've done really well in the standard sort of side. Is there anything that you've learned through that journey, including the journey you've just been on over the weekend, which you can translate to other people into like how to best approach a highly competitive tournament, in terms of like prep, or in terms of how you play, how you're thinking? Is there any sort of things that you've learned in that period that you can sort of like, if you were to give yourself that advice back when you rejoined in Duskmourn, to sort of like launch yourself into sort of the competitive Magic?
Well, back then, honestly, I didn't expect to play competitively at all. I started playing standard like maybe in December, and then went to one RCQ, ended up winning it. So then started to playing competitively. But I.
Do you think you just have the mind for it then? Because your job is to do with like data and maths and stuff. Am I right?
Not really data, but I mean, I am a programmer, but
Okay, yeah.
maybe it's the logical thinking, I guess.
Logical and
Uh,
pattern recognition and all that good stuff. So,
yeah,
so
I base around my game basically in Magic. I try not to make mistakes,
yeah,
and that's it. I don't I try not to go for the flashy plays and stuff.
yeah.
Just don't make mistakes, and you end up winning more games than losing.
That's quite a good bit of advice. Don't make mistakes. Like, and I know it sounds like it sounds like a bit of those things like, oh, don't lose, just win. But it's not. It's like it's thinking about your plays, giving that 30 seconds and being like, what is the right play, and having the confidence that if that right play doesn't work out because Magic is Magic, did you still make the right play? Because like if your play is 95% of the time correct, but that 5% time crops up, you need to have the confidence to be like, right, I made the right play, and not be shrouded by if you do a stupid. Because I think that there's that whole way of thinking that the further you are ahead, the more risks you can take. But I also say if you're really behind, then you have to make outwardly risks.
Yeah.
And I'll speak about my well before I'll give you a chance to comment, and then I'll speak about my modern drama because it's sort of relevant to that point. But would you say that's your bit of advice is like, don't make mistakes, and it's not as Chad as it sounds. It's literally
Yeah.
think about
Try not making mistakes. And another advice: play to win, and most of the time, and not to lose.
Yeah.
That's another advice.
Yes. And how could you Could you think of an example how that translates to?
So, for example, in the Vivi mirror, you are very behind, and you have a decision of discarding Vivi into the graveyard, but you don't have Cauldron at this point. But if you end up drawing Cauldron next turn, you might be able to come back to the game. But as it stands, you are not winning this game without it. So make your opponent have it. If he has Cauldron, sure, you lose anyways.
Yeah.
You might as well try, right?
Yes.
To spike it next turn.
Yes.
For example.
So an example I played the modern qualifier, and I was 4-1 into the tournament. I was like, I'm alive for top 8. I have got 2 more games of Magic to win, and I'm.
Oh, this is your drama.
Yes, no drama. So round 6. Sit down with my opponent, lovely opponent. He was a fan of the podcast. I had a lovely chat with him. Shout out to that guy. I forget James, maybe his name was. I forget his name was, but he was a lovely opponent. And we got deck checked. So I'm playing Glorious Vengeance. In my deck, my Glorious Vengeance deck, I have mixed art. I've every flashy card I owned in that list. I just threw in my deck. Like, it's not like my frog deck, which is all Japanese basic art, all that good stuff. I literally had whatever I had, I threw in. And part of my cards was 4 copies of Glorious Vengeance, but they were foil. I had a couple of other foils in the deck, not many. But the judges ruled that they could cut to those decks, to those cards. And I was like, can you? And he said, we know you haven't done it intentionally because the rest of your deck is all mismatch and all that. And, we know you haven't done it deliberately. If there are only 4 foils in your deck, it would be a different conversation. I'm like, oh, that's quite scary. So they gave me a game loss, which threw me up because every game 1 in the tournament, I think most game 1s in the tournament I lost. It was game 2 and 3 I ended up winning. So I was like, right, I need to really, really play to win this game 1. I need to get past this game 1. I was against Broodscale. So I got my hand. I had Faithless Mending into turn 3 Atraxa. So I was like, right, I have to play it. Plays a land, plays a bauble. A Vexing Bauble. I'm like, okay, sound. I've got the Prismatic Ending. I can deal with that when I need to. I had a Solitude in hand too, so I was like sort of intensified to get rid of it. So he plays. I was on the draw. So I pass turn, play a land, pass turn. Oh no, I was on the draw. Play a land, pass turn. He plays. Sorry, wrong. I was on the play because this is how it works. I apologize for that. I was on the play. So I play my second land, pass turn. He plays he's got a forest out. He plays the Eldrazi land, Eldrazi temple. I'm like, right, I can go for this now. And if he isn't disciplined, if he's excited with, because usually what players do if they have the Kozilek command, they wait till I cast Gurios to cast it. I was like, right, I'm going to go for it, put my attraction in the bin. He then, in his end step, doesn't play around force negation, just does it. Gets rid of my Traxer. I'm like, right, okay, fine. Gets rid of my Traxer. I untap, draw something, get rid of the bauble, pass turn, and then he has the sickest, what's it called? With you mill 4 cards, pick a
Rumble.
Yeah, the sickest rumble.
Yeah.
He put like, obviously he had he put like Urza Saga, other things in the bin, and then took a Emrakul. So passed turn back to me. He had enough to cast the Emrakul the next turn. I end up have like I play a Frog or something, or a Riddler. Pass turn. He Emrakuls me. I pitch it was Frog. I pitch everything to my Frog. Make it so like I'm pretty like he can't really do anything with me. I think I pitch everything to my Frog. Sorry, I Solitude as Emrakul, I think. I pitch everything to my Frog, and then I kept like a Subtlety on top of the deck. I only had 3 mana out, so there's nothing he could do. Discard, whatever. Grindy game. Sorry, I didn't kill his Emrakul. Grindy game. His Emrakul stays out. I end up a Traxer in the turn after. Get the Solitude, but I didn't have enough mana to then ephemerate the Traxer to stay in, and I was just on the back foot. But I was like, because I was so pressured and I was so behind because that game, I was playing really aggressively to try and win. And I think going back, that was right, because I was behind and I had to make, like they say, make more risks when you're ahead. But I also think there's a tipping point when you're behind that you have to take more aggressive risks to try and win the game. And that's what I tried to do. And I was thinking in hindsight, if I were just more patient, it wouldn't have stopped the Emrakul, but at least I would have had access to the Atraxa potentially once he tapped out. So that was annoying. I ended up losing that game. I ended up going 4-2 out of contention for top 8. I was tilted then. I was like, and then I lost game 3 against Affinity the turn after, the game after, and I was just like, I was just too tilted on that because I felt like I was punished because they said we know it's not intentional. So I felt really like, because it's never happened to me before, and I felt punished for like something that they've said it's not intentional, but we're punishing you anyway. And I'm like, well, I bought a Wizards product. I'm playing a Wizards product, and I'm getting punished for it. Like it seemed really bad, but like Jack was like, nah, it's fine, and I was like, Jack, shut up. Like it was the correct call, and I was like, shut up, Jack. It's not helping.
The problem with me with that story, right, is that you wasn't forced to change them into like a proxy for the rest of the event or anything. It was here's a game lost. The cards are warped, but you can carry on playing with them.
Like they weren't even warped. Like
that is weird.
He during the thing.
That's my problem with that anyway.
He said, oh, I'll show you. He cut, and it wasn't to the Glorious Vengeance. They did it again, and it was to the Glorious Vengeance. It's like, see, and I was like, because I'm aware that like at that point when you're having that conversation, the decision's already made. Like there's no point in arguing it. Like the decision's just made.
That's dead funny. It's like, see, Glorious Vengeance just make it island.
I'm all for the judges, but there was a lot of iffy judge calls on that tournament throughout a lot of things. That's a different topic for a different thing. But the judges in that tournament were like, some of them were fantastic, and there was a few little things. And George had some drama. I had some drama. There was some stuff in the legacy that was happening around me that was like, that stuff is a bit odd.
Did you hear about mine?
No.
So round 1 of the same qualifier event, right? My opponent is like 5 minutes late to the table, so straight away that should be a game loss, right?
No, it's 10 minutes.
And then, no, that's match loss is 10 minutes. It's 1 minute for a game loss.
Right.
So timer starts. I'm sat there twiddling my thumbs, truffling up, and then I call a judge over saying my opponent's late. Can you issue a game loss? So yeah, sure, no worries. So it's technically 1-0 to me, right? My opponent then proceeds to beat me 2-0, 2-1 technically, and then the judge comes over, says, "Are you guys done? Can we have a look at your deck?" So we get deck checked. End of round 1. My opponent hadn't submitted a deck list, which is also a game loss, but because we'd already finished our games, then it carries on to the next round.
Yeah.
So I got done out of a win because because it's me, right? I can't think of any other reason apart from maybe the judges are a bit too slow to act on the deck checks or anything like that. But I got proper done in.
Don't get me wrong. There was some of them were fantastic, but there was one or two.
Oh yeah, they were so great.
Like, this is supposed to be a big event. I'm like, yeah. Anyway,
but
I digress.
Modern's fun.
I digress. So that was a long way around to tips and tricks. Play to win, and don't make mistakes. Is what you learn for win.
Yeah, we just sort of went off on a bit of a tangent then at the end. Sorry about that.
So, what's your next thing then, Matt Jack? What's next for you in terms of Magic?
Antwerp.
Antwerp. When's that?
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And that's
wow.
That's
Yes.
modern, right?
Yeah.
You got your deck. You know what deck you're playing?
I mean, I hope it's Gorios, but I started prepping this week back in Modern, and I'm losing my confidence in the deck. So
I'm on Gorios, and I preferred it with Archaeologist in it. Honestly, I just did. I won.
No. I don't like playing 2 mana 1/4s, but
I won way more game ones with that card because it's just straight into the combo. But that's Riddler is better. Like, it is a better card. It's better card quality. But
I just hate Affinity. That's what it is.
It's the Blood Moons, mate. It's the Blood Moons. Like, every time I've lost to Affinity, it's the Blood Moons.
You see, I played against Boros twice in my leagues, so it was 6 games of Magic. They had Blood Moon 5 of them.
Yeah.
I beat Blood Moon 4 games in a row, and I'm not playing Purge. I'm not sure. I think Blood Moon is only. I think Blood Moon is only issue when they're on the play, and like you don't have anything going on.
So every
cannot play around it.
Yeah, every time I've lost to it, it's because I've not been able to play around it. Like, I've had to.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things, playing to win. Like, do I fetch my basic land or do I fetch a Surveil? Like, if they've got a board presence, like, am I just betting a basic land and not having agency at the top of my deck, or am I trying to draw something to win the game? And it's like, and then they Blood Moon you, and it's like, Blood Moon's a real problem for Glorious Vengeance deck. And I think that, like, I quite like the look of that Simic deck that's been doing pretty well. I saw that. I had to go with that a while ago, and it was really fun. But I think it might potentially be too cute. I don't know. I think Frog is looking promising. Honestly, I've been watching Control Freaks.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
No.
Psychic Frog this. Psychic.
Look, I'm already struggling to get wins with Gorios. I don't want to struggle even more.
I'm
sure that they can win, but
yeah,
you will struggle to win.
Gorios is still putting up numbers, right? It's still like Modern is open, and it's still a really good deck to bring into like this sort of.
It makes the prep way harder because how open it is, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like choosing your sideboard in Modern at the moment is very difficult because
I think
you don't know how it's gonna be on the day.
I think that's why like decks like Titan do really well in this sort of format, because they're just doing something really proactive, and I think you have to be doing something really proactive in Modern, to sort of like because there's so many answers, but you've only got so much space to put those answers. I think if you're doing something proactive, and broken like that helps in that really, like, make them have it rather than you have it. Where like in a format such as Standard right now, you could potentially have the answers, bring the answers.
Yeah.
But, I think
what else is proactive? Putting 7 permanents onto the play on turn 1, and one of them in a Kappa cannon. That's pretty proactive.
It's very proactive.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah. Probably the one of the better proactive decks to play. Casting Blood Moon on turn 1 is pretty fun as well, guys. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, we got the BNR coming up on this Monday.
Yep.
So Standard, what are we expecting? It's that, you know what we'll do? We'll say what we're expecting for a format and what we selfishly want. So no logic. What your brain would love to happen, and then what you think's gonna happen. So Matt,
how long have you got?
You can go first. So Standard, what do you think's gonna happen, and what would you want to happen? If they might be the same thing.
I mean, either VVL Cauldron is getting banned. There's no question about it, or both of them. Might be both, honestly, but VV is the one that's probably the more likely to get banned, right? Then something else from Cauldron should get banned. Probably Profts.
Profts, the 10p bulk rare that once was.
Yeah, I think it should get banned, honestly. Like, even with the combo and stuff, it's still the best card in the deck.
It's pretty nutty.
The deck will remain tier 1 if Profts is still there as just a blue-red aggro deck.
The thing is, like, the black removal is just so bad right now. So, like, because red removal is a thing, like anything that makes your creature massive is going to be pretty good in this format.
Even with the black removal of the old format, the deck would struggle with going wide, right? Of Profts with FOMO Profts and stuff. Like I remember playing the deck before rotation. The only thing you were dying to against blue black was Shieldred.
Yeah,
it's a bigger Razor Needlehead, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
But
it felt better to Floodmore it though, right?
Yeah, sure. So I think Profts should go. Selfishly, don't ban Profts. Because I like the deck is still fun to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anything else? Maybe. Like mono red.
Screaming Nemesis.
It's not a good deck. It's not a good deck. Like honestly, it's not a good deck. Like once Viv is gone and they don't have a target to punish, right, with Needlehead and stuff, like you don't have a good 2-drop.
I actually pulled one in one of my packs that I got from the thing. I pulled I got nearly two booster boxes worth of packs off the event, and I pulled one of these bad boys. Woo!
Like you also have just one good 1-drop, right? And then you play another.
Yeah.
That's a
half
a 1-drop.
The deck, right? It's just full of bad cards that go fast and don't just die to Pyroclasm all the time.
Do you think he'll go back to a Kaito meta with Pixies and blue black again or not? With those?
No idea. No idea what the format's gonna look like once Viv is gone. Honestly, it's very hard to predict.
Oh, it's going to be fun for sure because there's all these decks that have been pushed down a bit because of how good Vivi is. All of these are just going to come out with the woodworks. You'll probably see a lot more Kona combo, a lot more blue black, a lot more blue white.
Honestly, looking at the winner, it's even on the weekend. I think the Spider-Man Reanimator is looking very real.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like if Vivi got banned, I would be playing that probably next week.
Yeah.
If there was no other changes.
I need to look at that actually. Looks pretty interesting.
It's fun deck.
So yeah.
There's
a lot of turn 4 combos in standard at the minute, which is not great.
There is in a minute.
And
George was saying for ages to.
George was saying what?
Sorry, I thought cut out that. George was saying for ages to everyone on the team, saying don't convince him to play the Reanimator deck at Spotlight, and that he was set on playing 4-color control.
Yeah.
And then
that's what
sort of like the night before. Yeah, that's right. So like the night before, 2 nights before, he was like, right, sod it. Has anyone got these cards that I could borrow for the Spotlight? And it was just the rest of the Sultai Reanimator deck. And he made day 2, so it's worked out well for him.
Yeah, I think it was for sure a better choice than 4-color control.
Yeah.
Dan, same question to
you. So what should get banned is the same as Maciej. It's either Vivi or Cauldron or both, and then Proft. Selfishly, Into the Floodmore gets banned because like one mana instant to bounce my Screaming Nemesis. I know there's a lot more cards like there's bounce off. You used to run like literal unsummon, but I feel like Into the Floodmore does a lot more against the other cards in the format.
Yeah.
So it's a bit oppressive. Not oppressive, but it's just too good for the rest of the format. Ban Authority to Consoles and Phaser Bounding Spring. It's in standard.
Is it?
It was in Foundations, yeah.
All right.
When did you last play against Beza? When did you last see that card?
I'm sick of playing against Beza. Fun story, right? So Freddie Barber, friend of the show, friend of mine and Josh's, right? Play against
Shout out,
him round
Freddie.
one of the Spotlight, and I keep a hand. We all know Freddie is an aggressive mountain enjoyer. I was like, okay,
Not
I'm
this
gonna keep
time.
a hand. No, this is what I found out the hard way. I kept a hand. It was like mounted, burst lightning, screaming nemesis. Like, right, this hand's fine into the mirror, so I kept it. And then I go, right, mountain, bastion, go. And he just goes, meticulous archive, pass turn. And I'm like, Freddie, what on earth are you doing? He's like, I'm playing Magic. And then I play like Screaming Nemesis on turn 3, and he just normalized it. And I'm just like, Freddie, please, come on, man. And then he just beat me to death with Elspeth and Bazers. It wasn't fun.
I like what Sam said about the format. Like, well, he said, we even pointed out that Cauldron and Vivi was never supposed to exist together. They changed
that's
the
right.
rotation window, so that meant that Cauldron and Vivi would then see each other. So they're cards that were designed to never be in standard. Together. So I think that's what I would do. I'm disengaged with standard, not interested in it. So, but I think the obvious ones are Vivi and Cauldron. The other stuff I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure if those ban-ins would enable another best deck, like a Kaito deck, or the other anything else to open up. But I'm sure the floodgates would open, especially if Vivi has no bad matchups, as Maciej said before.
Yeah.
Same. Any more on standard, lads? Before we move on to, we'll talk about modern, and that's about it. I'm not going to talk about Pauper. I could talk a little bit about legacy if you want, but probably not relevant. But modern is probably more relevant to us. Any more standard?
Especially with the RC coming up. No, I'm all good, mate.
No.
Expecting any bans on Monday for modern or unbans, maybe?
Go on, Maciej, you go first, mate.
Logical and selfish ones?
Logically, they shouldn't touch it. They should just let the format as it is.
Yeah.
If they were to ban anything, it would be something from Amulet, but they're not gonna do it.
No, they just don't love. They're like little simps over that deck. I hate that deck.
Yeah, but honestly, it's probably getting to a point where they might have to take some action. Just not because how good the deck is, but how long the turns take.
Yeah.
Like
they're
not even online, but
they're not so bad in paper because you'd be like, I've got the loop. Explain the loop, done.
well, there was DRC in America like a month ago or so, and the draw bracket was full of Titan players.
Brilliant.
So, like even when you make them go through the loop and stuff to represent it, it will take ages.
Yeah.
And like you can't expect everyone to know it, right?
Do you think just
it makes sense.
Ban analyst maybe?
That
probably
that would be the most logical, yeah.
Yeah.
And also analyst is like the hardest piece to interact with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you can't even interact with it on the stack because there's woodlands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can't respond to woodlands if they've got 8 mana up because they can just activate it again. Because it's not part of the cost to tap it, is it?
Yeah,
it is silly.
So yeah, but my wish is Urza Saga.
Yes.
I hate that card. I
hate
absolutely hate that card.
That's a shout.
It was actually Nerf Amulet as well, but I hate it in Affinity. I hate how land is a 1-card win condition.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate it. The card is really fun to play with, don't get me wrong. But when you're against it, it's obnoxious.
Especially if
they're not gonna touch it, obviously.
If you're a blue-black X enjoyer, it's really obnoxious. I hate it.
Yeah. That's my wish. And maybe Unban Ponder. And that's about
now
it.
We're talking. Now we're talking.
Jeez.
Same for you, Dan.
Again, ban wise, I can see them maybe going towards touching something from Titan for all the reasons that Maciej just stated, and the fact that the reason that WotC have given in the past is the fact that it's a hard deck to play, and it takes a
Is it hard now though?
This is what I'm getting to. So
I'd
now
say
you've
harder.
got low and it's so easy to play around the hate that people bring in against Amulet because you just play like Ottawara, so on and so forth. But then Aftermath Analyst makes the loops so much, like 10 times more easier than what it really should be and what it has been in the past. So the sort of like, you know, if it was me, I would just ban Amulet of Vigor and just get the deck gone out of the format altogether. Just delete it off the face of the earth.
Well, he's still got Spelunking. Do you want to play with that?
Yeah, that's fine. It's just like a turn 4 combo deck then at that point. But it's probably Aftermath Analyst out of the deck at the minute that's got the target on the head, and I would be very surprised if they don't even mention Aftermath Analyst in the BNR, even if it's just like, you know, we're looking at it, for example. Unban wise, unban Deathrite Shaman, unban Blazing Shoal, is it?
Ooh.
I just want to play Infect again, like the good old days. Unban the Artifacts lands. Let's go wild.
More food for
Gitaxium
Wrath,
Probe.
guys.
Gitaxium Probe. Unban.
I'm gonna edit down
Mental Misstep.
Mental Misstep. Oh man.
We run about this. It's like, just unban Mental Misstep. Just restrict it. Have it as a one-off like it is in Vintage. It'd be
just unban the whole list, basically.
Yeah, why not? Just start again.
Ogak, yeah.
So I think nothing will change in Modern. I think Modern should remain. Yeah. I do dislike Urza Saga and Titan. I would ban Amulet Titan selfishly, and I would ban Urza Saga, and I would also ban something out of Eldrazi. I think playing Eldrazi cards while making land drops is stupid. So Urza's Tower, Eldrazi Temple, I think is too good for the format. However, it does mean that cards like what's it called, the red card that blows lands up?
Blood Moon.
Charmor's a thing. I do like that card. I played that when I was playing Rhinos, so it does give Charmor targets, and Charmor's being played a lot right now. But I have a hot take. I think Quantum Riddler might be format warping.
See what you did there. I agree. It is. Have you only just got that you made that joke by accident?
No.
Come on, Josh. No, I agree. The card's ridiculous. It's just like in the Jeskai Blink deck where you can go Ragavan on 1, connect, and then cast Riddler Ephemerate on turn 2. It's insane.
It's good. Like it's not like game over good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Riddler is everywhere, and maybe Blink effects are too format warping. I don't know. I'm just throwing.
You know what's my problem with Riddler? Like, obviously, I'm playing the card in both formats.
Yeah.
My problem with Riddler is that's a 4/6 that has higher toughness than power. So when there's Riddler on both sides, they cannot attack.
So the decks
that's my problem with it.
The decks that it's played with, and I agree with it stalls the game because it's a 4/6. The decks that they're played in don't really use. So if you look at the Blink decks, they're not draw, like the card quality they draw aren't as good. So the reason I said before that I think like Murktide Frog decks look good is because now they're starting playing Riddler. Now their card draw is a lot. Like when they draw cards, that's how they win the game, because they're making land drops and they're playing proper like hard counters. Where you're playing things like Goru's Vengeance or you're playing things like Blink, you could just like draw 2 and you might draw like something that doesn't really impact the game, or you draw like I don't know, like the wrong you need like 1 and 2, you need like a left hook right hook combo to do stuff, where like decks where like you're just drawing a card that stops a thing, like in the Frog decks, like if you're tapped out and you warp a Riddler, you're probably going to draw a counter spell, a force negation, subtlety, something that interacts the stack or on the board, or a kill spell, like a hard kill spell or something. So the card quality you're drawing is much higher in those sort of shells, where like the amount of times I've done like Riddler with Goru's Vengeance, and I've just drew like 2 lands, or I've drawn a Goru's Vengeance and no discard spell, or I've drew, I don't know.
The biggest problem is you have interaction, you have all the interaction, right? But you don't have solitude, which is the best interaction.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's
Solitude is Solitude is another card that I'm thinking has played quite a lot. Like, would the Blink decks be as good without Solitude? Like, is Solitude the actual glue? Maybe that's like I think that's what I left it open. Like Quantum Riddler's format warping, but maybe it's actually Solitude that's format warping. Because like
yeah, but unfortunately you cannot ban Solitude because it keeps the format together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like banning consigns to memory. It's the glue that holds the format together. We had this conversation on a call last night where if you ban consign, what actually happens, and then Tron just becomes like the best deck of the format, right?
The problem with consign, and we're going off tangent now. We are into the pod soon, I promise. But the problem with consign to memory is that you have to play like you play it for Tron or things like Tron and Titan. You play it for. It just happens to have splash damage against other decks, such as like I bring a couple copies against Blink, for example. Like has splash damage there, but like if those two decks didn't exist, consign to memory wouldn't be required. Like if Urza Saga decks didn't exist, then you wouldn't play. You wouldn't play 4 of in your sideboard. You might not even play any because you wouldn't play consign to memory for Blink, for example. You just play more Planeswalkers. No. You wouldn't play consign to memory for I don't know. What are the decks are good against?
Zoo.
Zoo, for example, yeah, you wouldn't bring it in against Zoo for like one, 2 cards. I don't even bring it in against Affinity, mate. Like you think, counter target thingy, but Affinity they play, blue spells, Mystical Disputes.
Honestly, yeah, I like it against Saga triggers.
Yeah, but that's why you
and Ward on the Kappa.
I mean, I spoke to Matt Miller-Teague about that, but like. You get to 4 mana against Affinity quite easily, and you can just pay for it. And
oh, do you? If the Kappa on turn 1, you're not getting to 4 mana.
Well, I was actually against an Affinity player in my qualifier, and he got Kappa turn 1 against me, and he didn't draw any artifacts. I was just holding a frog back the whole time, and he just so he like couldn't attack. So he had he empty-handed, and then just drew like land, and then. Not an artifact or an artifact that was too expensive. He just didn't draw it, and but then at the end of the day, I just want to be casting Mystical Dispute at that point, or I want to be just Traxxering.
Dispute's pretty good against this. Yeah,
and if you play Urza Saga, Pest Control, Wrath of Skies deals with that. I just don't bring it in. Yeah. I just found it dead.
Sure.
If they cast in Mox Opals and stuff, are you really going to consign that?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Tormod Script.
Yeah, but
Tormod Script, yeah.
Sure. After you take half your Glorious package out and post board, but I just don't bring it in, and my Affinity win rate is higher than not.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. Yeah.
I just it's.
I definitely don't bring 4, but I do bring some.
But so the niche situations you got stopping so to kill that Kappa Cannoneer, you need a Solitude, a white card, and consign, right?
Yeah.
The consign's good because you can consign the Solitude trigger, so you got a permanent out. So to me, that's like one too many steps to deal with that problem. When I could just be like, right, let's try and get the Traxxer out, let's try and race them, let's try and beat that, or let's try and Mystical Dispute on the spot. Like Mystical Dispute in that is way better. Or even because I play Subtlety in my sideboard. So Subtlety in it to put them off a turn, which is usually enough tempo swing, especially if they've emptied the hand and they've got no interaction. I don't know. I had this conversation with Matt Miller-Teague about it, and he likes consign against it, and I can see why. Stopping a trigger, you get the constructs, but you either stop the construct making trigger or you stop the search trigger, and I think the construct making trigger is scarier than the search trigger. Which is fair,
usually,
which is fair. Yeah. But the card that's the scariest is the warp card in that deck. That's the
it's so good.
That's the card. That's the card I've lost.
Baby.
That's the card I've lost to the most.
It's sort of like the enabler for you to do turn 1 Kappa and destroy loads of cards.
Get 4 flyers out on turn 1, 4 damage in the air.
Yeah,
chip you away.
It is silly, yeah. Oh, I really like it.
Anyway, any more on Modern before we sort of wrap things up? Because we're going over on a tangent as we normally do. We're about an hour and a half now of this pod.
Just one more thing on consign. It's sort of like the same thing as to why Gigantha got banned, right? It makes deck building constrictions on blue. So if you're playing any form of islands in your deck, that you want to have some amount of consigned memory in your sideboard because
or mainboard.
it is the glue of the format, or even mainboard, in the Jeskai Blink deck case. So maybe they try and nerf the decks where it's consigns really really good against. I don't know.
I think that just the cast triggers off Eldrazi make it you have to play it. Like, because otherwise you could just
definitely.
counter spells, subtleties,
Yeah. Because to me, it feels like these weird one-off counter-target spell cards like Stern's Golden Spell Snare, Spell Pace, for example. It should be sort of like in that same group, but because the rest of the format's so good with Eldrazi, then it's just 4 of, for example. That's the last bit on modern for me. Sorry.
It's a hate card with splash damage, and that's why you have to play 4.
Yeah.
Like, you have to play 4.
That's it. Yeah.
Like if you're blue, your deck starts with 4. Your sideboard starts with 4 cards, which is annoying. Like, because it's 4 cards out of 15. It's really annoying. Anyway,
it's a lot. Yeah.
Cool, Maciej. Thank you for coming on again, and thank you. Oh, well, sorry to say thank you. Thank you for being so good at Magic, but thank you and well done for being so good at Magic. Should I say? I'll hopefully get this out. Hopefully today when you listen to it, be Friday. So I'll try and get out tomorrow because I go away tomorrow because it's Remembrance this weekend. Those who haven't donated to the Poppy Appeal, please do. It's something that's close to my heart, and it should be close to everybody's heart. Because, in my opinion, the reason you can have these conversations and live in the life we do, the freedoms we have, are because of people in the past who've given the ultimate for us. So please support the Poppy Appeal, and don't forget your 2-minute silence on Sunday. Any afterburners, you two lads? Any shout outs you want to do, Maciej?
No, I think nothing for me.
Cool. So, listen out for next week. We'll give you more now that the sort of Halloween season's done and Spotlight Liverpool's done. We'll get more push for this charity event that's happening in December. It should be really good. Really good day out. And I would like to say, everyone, thank you for listening. And Dan, do you want to finish with the obvious?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, share, follow us on Twitter. Maciej now has Twitter. His social is going to be linked down in the description. Go follow him on Twitter. Go buy your tickets for the charity event, 13th of December. We will see you there. We're going to have giveaways, raffles. There's going to be loads of good stuff going on that day. And it's getting streamed, I believe.
Yes.
Team Child Magic Christian is casting it with
not Christian with a CH.
Not our yeah, that's right.
The pretty
casting
Christian.
The pretty Christian, the more northern Christian.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really really fun.
With Emma Partlow as well. Shout out to
Emma. Yeah. Shout out to Emma Partlow. Big shout out to Duffy for making day 2 and Spotlight with Mono Red after not playing a single game of Standard all season. And huge congrats on the kid.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
Welcome to the world. Is it Liliana?
Liliana, yeah.
Liliana, your dad likes Magic. Right. Bye everybody. Thanks for listening, and I'll
thank
see
you.
you soon.
See you soon. Bye.